What's going on, guys? This is Kaishiro. Welcome back. So we are back with another video. So in this video we're going to cover the analyzation and review of the Thai Festival series Loy Krathong 2024. So this is probably the last big event in Thailand for the remainder of 2024, including that we might not have the Campus League probably, or Campus League would be for next year. So, the Thai Festival series is an annual event in Thailand which they celebrate Yu-Gi-Oh! As a sporting event and probably a Thailand specific event only. That's why only Thailand does have the festival series. We don't have that kind of event in the Philippines, and usually they held it on Loy Krathong, and this tournament was Posuda or Supreme Darkness. I'm not really sure if they have included the Terminal World 2. I believe it was released on 23 in November, but it is not included because it is very new, and I really doubt that Konami would allow a new set from the day of the release would be allowed in a large tournament like this. These had 156 participants, and they have day 2 for this tournament. 7 rounds of Swiss with top 64 players advancing towards the day 2. And the day 2 was Rigurus. It is a top 64 single elims. So we're going to cover the top 8 decks that prevailed on this tournament, and as you could see, you have seen a bunch of Ryzil, so it speaks volume on how impactful the recent deck build crossover breakers and particularly Ryzil in the metagame. So without further ado, let's start. So at the champion of the tournament would be Chayanan Wangpa, Ryzil. So shout outs to Road of the King for sharing this tournament and data for us. So looking on this list from Chayanan, it is a very articulated Ryzil that doesn't play the Forbidden Droplet. Most often than not, you would see Ryzil playing Droplet or uh, things like Tactics Talent in the main deck. But the most successful iteration of Ryzil would be Ryzil without those going second board breaker cards. I just think that the Bell, the Ghost Ogre, the Veilers, it offers a wide amount of coverage in the metagame, especially on bigger events where there's a bunch of various decks that you can face on the Swiss. So having Bell, for example, or even Nibiru on your main deck is a surplus for answering those matchups and also having more preparations towards the diversity in the metagame. So as you could see on the previous big events and also on the Asia 3-on-3 tournaments and other events, the Ryzil is more evident on playing more hand traps rather than going second board breakers like Droplet or Talent, for example. So this Ryzil is very standard at the bare minimum. It played 41 card, quite expensive, but it is playable because you have like 12 one-card starters on your deck or even 15. So you have a bunch of ways to start your play, and you have like 21, 23 rooms for non-engines and hand traps. So with just Foalos, Maxi, Ash Blossom, Imperm, those are the most handiest staples that you could play on this deck. So on this extra deck, it played the Donner, which is a very good alternative for Little Knight, especially when you're playing Ryzil, when you don't really want to convulse your field with Little Knight. And Donner is a very good alternative for that. And probably this is the most played Link monster on Ryzil's extra deck, assuming that the Promethean package fell off on the last 2 or 3 weeks because it used to be a thing, especially in Japan. Many people have played the Lina, Kita, Promethean, Raging Phoenix, and Zilliantis on their extra deck on Ryzil, but it fell off and it didn't so play much on the previous big events and even on local tournaments, no. So on this side deck, it played only one Heavy Storm. Didn't play HFD, Heavy Storm only because you could pop your own site and Sanctum for that reason alone, with the self-destruction destruction effect of Heavy Storm. So you are going to play the Sanctum no matter what in this build, especially in this modern game, where you can stop a lot of decks and things like Dimensional Barrier, for example, no, or Anti-Spell Fragrance, Solemn Strike, cannot really outdo a lot of decks, especially like Malice, for example. You don't really shut them down with the barrier, and one Solemn Strike is not enough. So the Sanctum is the most optimal choice, and I could see that Sanctum or Sight would be addressed from the January ban list. Hopefully, they would address this because it is getting out of hand recently. Next would be Chyanon, Matt McRyzil. So this was the most played variant of Ryzel on the first few weeks of Ryzel in the OCG. They have up to play the Matmech, playing a minuscule amount of Matmech cards, and you're going to have access towards the Alambertian and the Matmech XYZ, and you're able to protect your board from that and play more aggressively around hand traps because you have a back pedal once you get hand trap, for example, or got interrupted, you have like a Matmech play to back it up. And of course, the Super Factorial Pass is a huge asset for this Ryzel. So on this list, it played 43, quite extensive amount of cards, but it is very probable because you're playing a 4 card Matmech engine, or 5 rather. So it is a good ratio for that. And didn't opt to play Nibiru in the main deck, just up to play Veiler and one copy of Droll and Ogre with 2 Koalas. And moving on from the tournament, from Chanchai, Luang Prapa, another Ryzel. So this time it played the more usual earlier builds of Ryzel that play Droplet and Talent. It is the uh, most frequent version of Ryzel on the previous month because people are really longing for a card that will solve the going second issues of Ryzel. Ryzel as a deck, as pure as it sounds, it is really strong, but this deck doesn't have the best assets to go second. That's why people have been opting to play Droplet, for example, and Talent, and sometimes evenly matched, no? So they are really desperate for a card that could solve the going second issues of Ryzel. And I couldn't blame them because it is the most obvious flaw of the deck and archetype. So you just want to have ban-aid solutions. But if you want to play like the champion, I would rather see hand traps because it offers more coverage and also more versatile, concluding that you can draw those cards going first and just be able to use those bullet hand traps to stop your opponent and other interactions in the game, no? But yeah, I think Droplet and Talent is still fine here. And once again, it is playing the Sanctum and rather Sight because even though you don't play the Sanctum, Sight could be popped with your own Detonator and you're just going to blow out your opponent. And Sight and with Lancea, it is the most obvious choice to answer the Malice matchup, which is probably the second best deck in this current metagame pre-Terminal World, no? So yeah, and Evilly Match, of course, very good equalizer in this metagame. You would see a lot of decks getting battered and crumpled with one Evilly Match. Things like Runic Labyrinth, those control decks will be here no matter what. Those decks will be present. So Evilly Match is a really solid choice to blow them out. And another third to fourth player would be Chat Chatpetch with Grass branded. So he is very successful with this branded, playing a board breaker approach on this branded. Didn't opt to play things like Ash Blossom, Veiler, Impern. Those are out of the equation when you talk about the 60 branded version. You are always going to play Trust and Droplet and Eclipse. Those are much more handy cards. And of course, Trust is very massive for this branded. Going second, going first, it doesn't matter. You're always gonna get a valuable card coming from Trust once you're able to play this card out on your opponent. So it is really strong on this type of build, especially getting able to get your branded fusion, the grass, and other ridiculous things like the allure or foolish burial. It is very very strong on this type of deck, and branded as a deck is timeless. It is timeless. Since 2021, Branded is here. Since Dawn of Majesty, it is a meta deck, and the release of structured deck of Branded improved the archetype, and they have gotten a barrage of supports from the previous sets, and they're not stopping anytime. Branded is still one of the most favorable archetypes that we have seen in Yu-Gi-Oh history. So, looking on the extra deck is very standard. Aside from the fact that it played no Dragoon, people are really trying to mix Dragoon here, but this player deviated from that and just played standard Despia cards, branded cards, and dogmatic cards on their disposal. And XYZ Encore, wow, what attack! This card is really immense for Ryzil. This is really unpredictable and you wouldn't really expect Encore, especially in this format. The last time it was prevalent was the purely format, 2023, I believe. Yeah, a year ago already. It's almost 2 years already, no? So Encore, very unconventional card and can really, really blow the minds of many Ryzil players here. Next would be Code Talker Malice from Panawat Mangkang. So, this could be really interesting, no? Because people have been negligible on playing Malice because Ryzil is objectively better. But when we see a Malice that incorporates different amounts of engine tech cards and weirdness on the main deck, it always brings results in the table. This could be just a factor of Malice being a very splashable Cybers deck, or probably just how good the link mechanic is in this current modern metagame. So with these Cybers, you are able to branch out your link climbing shenanigans going to the Code Talker extra deck line and the Transcode, of course, which is a really solid and tangible for this deck. And you're also going to be able to utilize on Splash Mage really solid. And I think Malice is the second best deck in this current meta game. It just falls behind around Ryzil, but it is not bad. And probably if you're looking for a deck other than Ryzil to play right now, I think Malice is just the best for you to play. And objectively, will get more results other than the other decks like Blue Eyes, for example, and other stuff like Mementotlan, Voices Voice, Runic, Chimera, even Azamina, no? So I just think Malice is just really good right now. Next would be Waricha, Sorapat. We do have another Ryzil. So this is more standard. Just played 2 offs in the main deck, 2 Ogre, 2 Droll, 2 Veiler, and 1 Talent, yeah. And also 2 Field Spell. I believe people are now pivoting back towards playing 2 Field Spell of Ryzil. I just think that it is a very good preventive measure around hand traps and also getting avenues for you to recycle cards and also to complete your board, of course. Once you be able to set up the field spell, you are free to choose the plugin and also the thruster, no? So you have more leverage on your board and empowers your board drastically once you're able to open this up. And yeah, moving on. Didn't opt to see his side deck. And next would be Nathan Kemsap with another Ryzil. Basically, just the same as earlier, no? Just didn't play Ogre. Just opt to play 1 Sakitama, which is Sakitama could be your saving grace once your board got annihilated or disrupted by a hand trap or Nibiru even. So Sakitama is just there to extend and always have a safety measure to procure your rank 4 place on this Ryzil. And next would be another Ryzil, this time more standard. Just play double Bell and double Ogre. And yeah, pretty standard as well. Just played Duster over Heavy Storm because Heavy Storm would be better than Duster on this Ryzel because you're able to pop your Sanctum and Sight and also Lancea around the Malice. So yeah, it could probably be more objectively better for a kind of deck like Ryzel right now, which is weird because Duster is really just uh, kilometers above with the Heavy Storm. It's just so good compared to the Heavy Storm, but yeah, Heavy Storm could be a really wise choice here. And yeah, that sums up our Thai Festival Songkran tournament analysis and review. So huge shout outs towards the winners of this event, and Thailand, as we know, it is one of the most powerful regions in Southeast Asia, and they are able to send out really solid players on the World Championship on the previous years. And yeah, I'm hoping for the best that we could compete once again in the worlds along with Philippines in my country. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. If you found this video informative and helpful, please consider subscribing. It definitely motivates me a lot to keep providing this content for you guys. So thank you for watching. See you on the next one. Peace.